What's up, fishaholics? It's Les here in the fish room doing fishy things, so I figured I'd let you in on it. In my last video, I had my Red Devil Rhonda and Corey's Red Devil Beast together for a spawn, and I had like 1,000 eggs I showed you guys, and I ended up having a bit of a mishap with those eggs, and I lost the majority of them, probably all of them. I was siphoning the wigglers from one tank to another, and the siphon hose jumped out of the tank. I normally put a hose clamp on, but I was doing it in a rush, and it was late at night and whatever else, all kinds of excuses, but I probably killed them all because I siphoned them all onto the concrete floor, and I was able to like maybe save a couple, but I don't think so. I'll find out if they grow in that tank. It's the tank that I can't really see though in the fish room. It's far back, so we'll have to give it a week or two of feeding into the tank to hope that one or two of them pops out. But yeah, either way, here's the Red Devil tank today. I've got a couple hybrid parrotfish in there. I'm not a big hybrid guy, but you can see their mouth with their deformed mouths. They can't really do much damage to my Red Devil pair here, and they're big hardy fish that can take a bit of abuse, so they'll help out with aggression so that they don't kill each other while I wait for my male here to grow. Same with this guy, he's got the same job. He's sold to me as a Red Devil, but he's a hybrid Midas Red Devil of some sort, I'm not sure. Also, you can see here, Haley's been busy tying Java moss to almost every piece of driftwood we have in our fish room. We're gonna try and use this as like a bit of a decorative filter kind of thing. We want the Java moss to kind of eat up some of the nutrients that are in the tank, creating all of this moss that's growing on the back walls and the bottom. It's not a big problem to have this algae growing like that for me, because it helps rear fry, and it helps, like, it's a food source for those fry. So we're still just experimenting to see if we can do something about it, but if we can't, then we can't. We could also change the light period, but we want to be able to look at the tanks at certain times of day, and we're just experimenting at what we can do with that. You can see here the wild male umbi, he's doing really well. More Java moss. In the background there, I was experimenting with some pre-filters for our aqua clears, as well as some DIY sponge filters that I watched the King of DIY make, and then I went to my hardware store and grabbed whatever PVC I could to try and experiment with. But yeah, so here in the fish room, I've got the Mesoheros Feste growing out, and these guys are F1s from Ecuador, I confirmed. Hoping to get at least a pair. I have 4 fish, so 2 pairs would be ideal. Here is the new tank stand. So it's built for 48 by 18 on top and a 48 by 18 below. Right now on the bottom I just have a 55-gallon temporary tank. You could see a couple different designs of my DIY filter using 2 different kinds of sponge. That was the main experiment, is where can I get the cheapest sponge. So it seems like it'll be the Aqua Clear 110 sponges that end up being the cheapest, because if you order them in the 6-pack or 12 packs on Amazon, ends up being only like, I think, $5 per, and you can make 2 sponge filters of this size with each, or you can make one sponge filter the size of the whole Aqua Clear sponge. So once I'm done wrinkling out those details, I'll make a video on that. Feste here, they're not spawning yet, or sorry, Texas here. They haven't been spawning since the first time they spawned, so I don't know. I'm hoping for the best, hoping I can get them back to where they were before. It looks like Maya needs some attention, so maybe we'll go let her go upstairs. Come on, Maya. Oh, no, she just wants attention. Typical jealous bulldog. But she's cute, so we keep her around. Here we've got the electric blue Acaras. Same thing with them. I'd like to get them spawning, but these ones I actually haven't yet spawned. The Texas spawned once for me and then stopped. Here we've got a grow tank with 11 F1 Rio Mag Umbies, 3 Texas from my first spawn, and 5 F2 Feste that I got along with my my group of Feste in the 90. And then these are some more Feste. These are the ones I got from Wet Spot. Growing nicely, showing lots of aggression for little guys. They're feisty little ones. More pre-filter designs, just with some sponges I had laying around. The Argentia, they're looking good as always. Really excited to get these fish to a big size. They're gonna look awesome. Down low, I've got some Endlers and some Xiphophorus alvarezi swordtails. I'm trying to grow both those out and then breed them for BAP. For me, I like to breed live bearers along with my big cichlids because the big cichlids take up so much tank space that I'm not left with much, and the live bearers are pretty low maintenance in that regard. That's why I do the like I do guppies, endlers, mollies, this time swordtails, shrimp, and then I also do plecos because I like breeding plecos. Now these ones here, these plecos are about a week old. This is my Ted Judy incubator. I watched him do a DIY video on this one, and then I made one here. And then about a week ago I noticed a bunch of pleco eggs got kicked from the cave, and I wasn't sure why the male did that, so I used a turkey baster, scooped them up, threw them in this incubator, and it worked like a charm. You can see this is the previous spawn here. Pleco's growing out with the live bearers there, and then I've got the pair somewhere in the back there. They're usually in the caves or in the sponge filter. They like the dark. Then here, this is the crystal black shrimp tank. Can't really see much. Sorry for all the glare, guys, but fish room problems. And then that back tank, that's where I have the hopefully red devil fry that I mentioned may or may not exist. I just feed a little pinch of powdered up flake into that tank when I feed all the other tanks, and I'm hoping for the best. But worst case, we got none, and we'll just try again. We've got a line on some nice purebred ones coming in, so if I can, I'll spawn some nice pure labiatus F2s. Around the fish room here, I put up this poster. This was from our DFO, Dead Fish Order meeting. Spencer Jack, he's one of our biggest suppliers of fish here in Winnipeg. He owns Aficionados retail store, but also online sales. And then he also does fish farming in Florida, and that was what his talk was about. It was pretty cool to see what his perspective was farming fish there and seeing a bunch of pictures of it. We also were able to attend Aquarium Society of Winnipeg meeting, and that was pretty fun. But here we have my stand. You can see just behind me I added a shelf to it and then I added another white shelf just on the wall there, just for some more space, because I was taking out that one stand that was kind of being used as my storage space. But as you can see in the background here, not bad for a roughed-in bathroom, eh? I got 11 tanks in there now, and lots to be excited about. So stay tuned for more updates, and if you want to see more of what I'm doing, please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.